Hey everybody, I'm Chef Tom with atbbq.com, and this is Chili Cheese Johnny Cakes. Well, it's finally chili season here in Kansas, but instead of just serving it up in a big old bowl today, we're gonna be making Johnny Cakes and smothering them in chili and cheese. We're gonna start off with really quality beans for this. This is the Rancho Gordo Domingo Rojo bean. And since they're dried, that means we're gonna soak them first overnight and then cook them down. Soaking the beans is gonna make the cooking process a lot quicker. These have been going for quite a while overnight now. We're ready to start cooking them. Today we're cooking on the Yoder Smoker's YS640S pellet grill. It's running at 500 degrees right now, set up for direct grilling. So we're gonna get direct flame onto our Dutch oven. And this first step is going to be browning the beef in the Dutch oven. Dutch oven's nice and hot. I'm gonna throw down 2 pounds of Creekstone Farms brisket blend burger pucks and break those up. So we wanna get a good little bit of sear on them if we can, a little bit of crust going. Which means we're gonna mash them up and then we're just gonna let them sit and take on some of that heat. So we're gonna throw in some seasoning with the beef. We're doing a 1/4 cup of the Roadhouse seasoning from Cattleman's. Now that this is forming a crust, we'll give it a mash. Stir that around a bit. And we'll let this finish kind of browning and creating that fond on the bottom that you can kind of see like right in this area here. Because when we throw our veggies in here, that's all gonna come up and become part of the flavor of the beans themselves. The beef is now sufficiently browned and we've rendered out a lot of that fat from the beef. This is an 8119 blend. And that means we're gonna leave behind some of that fat so that we can cook our veggies in the fat. I've turned the temperature down to 475 so we can cook this just a little bit more gently. We're gonna add in our flavor base for our beans, starting with a cup of sliced onions. 2 cups of sliced onions, 1 cup of carrots, a 1/2 cup of celery, 1/4 cup of jalapenos, and a 1/2 cup of poblanos. And immediately the moisture coming out of these is gonna start to take up that fond from the bottom. And you can just kind of scrape that up with your wooden spoon. And you're gonna get all that flavor and all that crust from the beef worked right into the veggies. Now we could just boil these beans in water and call it good and then add this stuff later. But if we have the opportunity to put all of this flavor into the beans as they cook, why wouldn't you? Got all that fond up. Our veggies are getting softened, so now we're gonna add in our beans. And while we soaked a full pound, I'm just gonna be cooking 1/2 of that pound for this recipe today. The rest we'll save for another one. And then we wanna get it covered in liquid. So I'm gonna put some beef stock in to start out, but we can also be adding water along the way. The idea though is just to keep them covered, cook them down. They're gonna soak up this liquid, this flavor, and then we'll add water as needed just to make sure that these stay hydrated. Throw a lid on and let them cook away for about 1.5 hours until they're tender. So we're checking on the beans now. We give these a little press. You can see that they smash, which means they're nice and tender. Still got a little liquid in there. Like I said, you can add more water as you go. At this point, we're actually gonna start to build the chili. So we're gonna add a little bit more liquid in the form of Shinerbach. You could just do more beef stock if you don't wanna do beer. We're gonna add in our San Marzano tomatoes. Those are whole tomatoes, so we're gonna mash them down, start to break them up, and then as they cook, they'll break up even more. Honestly, this part of the chili is just like waiting to get the right consistency. Everything's pretty much ready to go, including the beef, which we're gonna add back in now so it can warm back up. At this point, I would not put the lid back on. I just let this cook down until you get to that consistency that you're looking for. Now let's whisk up our Johnny Cakes. We're gonna start by boiling some water just to get it warm. Now for the Johnny Cakes. We're gonna take 2 cups of boiling water and whisk in 2 cups of our Marsh Hen Mill Johnny Cake mix, which is just cracked corn, sugar, and salt. So that thickens up nicely. We just want to whisk out those lumps. And then we're also gonna whisk in ½ cup of whole milk. Getting sloshy. Final little additive here, we're gonna put in just a touch of our tapped maple syrup. With the chili in a good spot, we're gonna swap positions here so we can get that griddle over the direct flame. Flavor's right where I want it. I'm not gonna change a thing. I said I'm not. Toasting up these Johnny cakes now. Put a little bit of duck fat down, and about a ¼ cup scoop of that batter. And I'm gonna spread it out. We want it thin so it's crispy on the outside but still tender on the inside. Looking for that lacy pattern on top. Both the top and the bottom side. Once you got that, you're good. So let's plate it up. Throw in a couple of these Johnny cakes. Ladle on our chili. Get some sharp cheddar on top. We're gonna top off all this richness with just a little bit of acidity in the form of these habanero pickles from Casey Canning Company. All right, let's dig in here. I can't take a bite that big. You know I can't. That's some hearty chili right there. Got just the right amount of heat for me. Beefy, tomatoey. Love that Roadhouse seasoning on chili. I haven't done that a lot before, but it's definitely gonna come back. And then those Johnny cakes, it just kind of gives you like that extra filling feeling. We've got just a little bit of texture on the outside. They're soaking up all of the chili. You're getting the corn flavor. Wonderful cheesiness, and then all that's broken up by those pickles. Killer combination. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to check out atbbq.com for all the products featured in today's video. If you enjoy the recipe, hit that subscribe button. And if you have any questions or comments or there's anything you'd like to see me cook, let me know in the comment section down below, and let's be good to one another. For more recipes, tips, and techniques, head over to atbbq.com/thesauce. All things barbecue, where barbecue legends are made.